Hello everyone, I'm Sebastian Y and this is Foundations of Economics. In this video I'm going to solve an exercise on trade and tariffs. In the first part we are going to assume the country is closed to trade, which means that we're just going to go about this in our usual way. We'll find where domestic supply crosses domestic demand. It's going to give us an equilibrium price of 60 and quantity of 200. To get the consumer and producer surplus, we're going to look at the two triangles, consumer surplus up here and producer surplus down here. Consumer surplus has a base of 200, a height of 100 minus 60, which is 40, divided by 2. That's going to come out to 4,000. The producer surplus also has a base of 200. It has a height of 60 minus 20, which is also 40. Divide that whole thing by 2, and we're going to get 4,000 as well. For the next part, we are going to assume the country opens to international trade and the world price is 40. I'm going to draw a horizontal line across the graph at the world price. That's going to tell us what the domestic quantity supplied is going to be, 100. Domestic quantity demanded of 300. The difference is going to be the amount imported. That will be 200. Consumer surplus is now this whole triangle, and producer surplus is this small triangle. Consumer surplus has a base of 300, a height of 100 minus 40, which is 60. Divide that by 2, we get 9,000. Looking at the producer surplus, we have a base of 100, a height of 40 minus 20, which is just going to be 20, divided by 2. That comes out to 1,000. We see that consumers are better off and producers are worse off. For the final part of this problem, we need to see what happens if we have a tariff of $10 on the good. I'm going to erase most of the old drawing. I've left the world price in there, and we're now going to add 10 to that for the tariff. We're now going to look at these new points right here for the domestic supply of 150, domestic demand of 250. The difference will be the imports. The consumer surplus will be this triangle. Producer surplus will be this triangle. The revenue from the tariff is going to be this box in here. And the deadweight loss is going to be the combination of these two small triangles. I'm going to go ahead and calculate these areas right on the graph. Consumer surplus is 250, that's the base, times a height of 100 minus 50, which is 50. Divide that by 2, we get 6,250. For the producer surplus, we have a base of 150, a height of 30. Divide that by 2, that gives us 2,250. For the government revenue, we have a base of 250 minus 150, which is 100, times a height of 10, which gives us 1,000. And the deadweight loss is going to be those two small triangles together. Each of them has a base of 50, a height of 10, divide that by 2, but then there's two of them, so we're just going to multiply that by 2 again. Cancel those out, we get deadweight loss of 500. I'm going to go down here to the bottom and just fill everything in. Quantity demanded, 250. Quantity produced domestically, 150. So the difference is 100. That's the amount of the imports. Tariff revenue was 1,000. Consumer surplus was 6,250. Producer surplus, 2,250. And a deadweight loss of 500. We can check our work down here by adding up the consumer surplus, producer surplus, and tariff revenue. These two together are going to be 8,500, Adding in the 1,000 from the tariff revenue, we have 9,500. Total surplus up here without the tariff, 9,000 plus 1,000 is 10,000, and the difference has got to be the deadweight loss, which is 500. That's all there is to it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks for watching.